What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Chelsea. Today we take on Aston Villa at home in the Premier League, and then we start our Champions League knockout campaign, taking on Lille in the first knockout round. If we look at the Premier League table, we are still currently top, and we are now 12 points clear of second place Manchester United with a game in hand. We are starting to run away with it, and we are currently still doing it unbeaten. We still have a chance to match the Invincibles of Arsenal. There's still quite a few games left to play. I mainly came to this screen, though, because of the leading goal scorer, which isn't Bruno Thiago, unfortunately. It's Erling Haaland on 33. Liverpool are 27 games in. Haaland's only played 25, and he has 33 goals just in the Premier League. No other player in a top 5 or even top 7 league has more than 20 to lead their league. Moukoko has 20. And then Brenner has 20. No other player has 20 goals in the league, in any competition, anywhere. I'm no 20s. Basically any competition I have loaded, no one has 20 goals in, except for Brenner and Moukoko. And yet, Haaland has 13 more than that. Like, it's absolutely absurd. And there are only 5 other players in the Premier League who have more than 13 goals. And he has 13 more than second place. Just absolutely ridiculous. It is actually the most goals he's already ever scored in a season. Ever. In 25 starts. He scored 33. His next highest was 32 last year in 35 games. Before that, he only hit above 20 once in the Premier League. He got 27 in 2028, 2029. Before that, he hadn't hit 20. And now he's getting 33 goals through 25 games. Insane. But I think the fact that he's probably going to have the best Premier League campaign of all time, and yet Liverpool are still in third place, 13 points behind us, who lead the league unbeaten, says a lot about how this is a team game. And it's been going pretty well for this team, because we are in a really good winning streak. We've played 5 games since that Man City match where we won 3-1, and we've been unbeaten in these 5 games. First, we took on Everton at home in the Premier League, beat them 2-0. They had a late sending off, but it was already 2-0 at that point. Then we took on Leicester in the Premier League. They are in awful form, sitting second from bottom, looking like they might get relegated. And we smashed them 4-0. Mike Fromm with the goal, Sesko with a couple, Zvonarek getting a goal. Then Bristol City in the FA Cup 4th round, and it was a hat trick from Bruno Thiago to give us the win. Then West Brom in the Premier League beat them 2-0. But that was the worst of the results so far, because it was 77 minutes in, and it was 0-0. And then they had a sending off, and we took advantage of it at least. Vidovic getting a goal, Sesko sealing it at the very death. We got the win, but not super convincing. But the Tottenham match went pretty well, but that was because another sending off. Only 2 minutes in this time. So in this 5-game run, we had 3 sending offs for the opposition. 2 of them were pretty late, but this one ended up being a pretty big deal because he got sent off and then we scored 4 goals. You might recognize the player that got sent off. Luan was a player we actually signed at Sporting, but he never actually played for me. We loaned him back out to Manchester United because we had Lucas Dean. His contract was expiring at the end of the year. Luan was going to be the backup after he left, and then we left. And so he spent a year at Sporting and did all right there. And then he was sold to Tottenham for 68 million. And we were actually also in for him. He was actually our first choice to be the backup left back before we went after Mark Rutten. He chose Tottenham, I guess, because he knew he could start there, which you wouldn't necessarily start off here. So I think it's worked out for the better because Mark Rutten's been very good for us. He was a little bit more expensive, but he's also a lot younger and better. So I think it worked off pretty well. Plus, he didn't get sent off 2 minutes in. That's a plus. We also got our draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup, and it is yet another Premier League team. Again, it's not a bad one. West Brom this time at home, but we've had 3 draws, and we've gotten a Premier League team every single time. Really annoying, especially because like half the teams for the 5th round were championship sides, and yet we still got a Premier League team. Really frustrating, but today we're taking on Aston Villa in the Premier League. They obviously got off to a very good start in the league before absolutely crumbling in December and not having a much better January. But they've started February pretty well, but they've just played Brentford and Fulham, beat them both. But another thing I want to look at is their FA Cup draw, because they had Luton, Morecambe, and now they have Burnley, who are a championship side. That's the kind of difference. Like, Aston Villa get a cupcake, we get 3 Premier League sides. Annoying. But after that Aston Villa match, we got Lille in the Champions League first knockout round. We're starting in France. They are currently 2nd in Ligue 1, 1 point behind PSG, but PSG have a game in hand. So they are a good team, but I've looked at their squad, and it's not that good. I think France is just pretty bad. So now to get in the squad for this Aston Villa match, we are going to be missing a few players, a couple suspensions. Ruggeri is suspended, Jimmy Wong is suspended. Bruno Thiago is the big miss though. He's got a little bit of a knock. He's going to be missing 1 to 6 days. He's probably going to miss both matches. Hopefully Sesko can step up and play well. He's got 3 goals since that injury, so he's done all right starting up top. But Bruno Thiago obviously still a very important player in our team. Leads us in goals with 24. No one else has more than Pino with 12. From has 10. He's actually been really good for us this season, where Mason Mount has not. He has 4 goals. He's done a little bit better recently, but he's not had a great season. But he's going to start today. But the squad up top, we're going with Sesko, obviously. He has to start. He's really the only other striker. Pino on the right, or on the left. Havertz comes in after that injury. He's going to start on the right-hand side. Mount's going to start as the box-to-box with Mike From as the attacking center midfielder. Camavinga going to be holding. Ruden's going to start at left back. Lewis Nielsen's going to start at right back. Reece James, a little bit tired. I want to do a little bit of rotation there as well. So Lewis Nielsen's going to come in. Sareza and Badiashile, though, are starting at center back. And obviously, Harasa's going to start in net. We are going to start with our higher tempo style. We are at home, but obviously Aston Villa are a decent side, doing pretty well in the Premier League. And it's been a lot of mixed results with our possession style. We've played some bad teams at home, and we still haven't really dominated possession like I hoped we would. So not totally confident in that. We've had a pretty good start playing this higher tempo style. Seen some pretty good results in it, so that's what I'm going to start with today. Pretty sure we haven't played Aston Villa so far on camera in this series. If we have, remind me. I just don't remember. But so I'm curious to see what they look like. Obviously, this is 2032, but they're having a pretty good season. They're in the European spots, but not a great current stretch, even though they do have a couple of wins the last couple of games in the Premier League, but it's been against bad teams. So curious to see what they'll look like. And obviously for us, we're looking to keep our unbeaten streak going for that Invincibles. And then we are on a 5-game stretch without allowing a goal. I'd also like to see that continue. First title of the match is a little over 11 minutes in. It's going to start with a throw-in for Chelsea, but we're going to immediately give the ball away, but they're going to do the same. Mike From's going to pick this up now. Camavinga inside to Havertz. It's been a pretty slow start. Only 1 shot for either team. And the first highlight we see, we hit the crossbar. But we're going to see the goal kick. Breno's going to play out to Axel Tuanzebe, the former Manchester United man. Also another former Sporting man in there, in Manuel Ugarte. We sold him to Aston Villa. He's starting in the midfield for them today. Watt's going to switch it to Kvaratskhelia, something like that. But we are going to intercept. Yeremy Pino's going to find Sesko. He's going to go back to Kai Havertz. Into Mike From, Camavinga, Mason Mount. Nice play. Can't quite find the through ball to Kai Havertz, though. But we're going to pick this back up. Lewis Nielsen looking for Mount. Heads it down to Yeremy Pino. Back to Mount, into Mark Ruden. Had a pretty good start to his Chelsea career. He's going to get fouled. He is fouled, and I'm pretty sure it's outside the box, so this is just going to be a free kick. I'd love a penalty, but feel like it's unlikely. Yeah, it wasn't a penalty. But we've got to throw in here about 17 minutes in, but we're just going to throw it away. Scarrett's going to pick this up. It's going to go all the way back to their goalkeeper. It's going to go out from the back, and a terrible ball, and did he mean to chip that? I don't know if that was intentional from Mike From, but if it was, beautiful. Probably a little unnecessary, but he's just showing off. A terrible mistake from the Aston Villa goalkeeper. And Mike From, actually, is that Trevoh Chalobah? He was trying to pass to former Chelsea man Trevoh Chalobah. And Mike From intercepts and chips him. And gives us our first goal. And that Mike From goal is going to be the only goal of this first half. Aston Villa only with 1 shot, 0.05 XG. We've not started fantastically, but Mike From with a fantastic solo effort has given us the lead. I bought Mike from Sporting to be a backup and one for the future, but he's already one for the now because he's already probably a first-team center mid for us as he's had a fantastic season. And he just shows right there with a fantastic finish. We're now 72 minutes into the second half, and this is our first highlight. Mark Ruden's going to look for a ball through to Yeremy Pino, but he can't quite come off. Now they're going to go back to their goalkeeper, and wow, he is having an awful day. Absolutely atrocious day for Breno as he passes it right to another Chelsea player, this time Benjamin Sesko, who passes it into an open net. I would not want to be their goalkeeper right now. I also don't really love that it's taken 2 massive goalkeeper mistakes from the opposition for us to actually score any goals so far today, but I mean, I'll take them however I can get them. Now can we actually create like a legitimate goal, not a stupid goalkeeper mistake? He had the ball again, but he's kind of learned from his lesson, I guess. He goes long. They are going to win this back. Rodrigo on this left-hand side. I think that's the former Real Madrid man, Rodrigo. But he's just going to give it away. Now we're going to have the ball back. Looking to see if we can create an attack here. Mason Mount looking for a ball over top to Sesko. He's going to be on the end of this, and he's going to go around the goalkeeper, but I mean, I feel like he could have slotted that in the bottom corner. Not a great finish from Sesko, but the goalkeeper makes a save. 4 minutes at a time. This has been a very weird game, but we've got the win, and we deserve the win, even if it took a couple howlers from Breno. 14 shots, 9 on target to 3 and 2. They did basically nothing, but I still am not super happy with our performance. I would love to, actually score some legitimate goals, not just have to have the ball passed right to us by their goalkeeper. But you know what? When you're on an unbeaten run, looking for an invincible season, I'll take them however I can get them. And of course, that also makes it 6 straight games where we haven't conceded a goal. And Benoit Badiashile gets rewarded for it as he gets man of the match today with an 8 rating without scoring a goal. So very good defensive performance from Benoit Badiashile. And he has been probably our best player this season. He at least leads the team in average rating, which is not always easy to do for a center back. But he has been fantastic. And I'm very happy that we tied him down to a contract earlier on this season. Now the question is, can we make it 7 straight games without conceding? I think it's going to be possible. We are traveling away from home for the first time in a little bit. We're taking on a Lille team that definitely is not as talented as we are. Hopefully we do ourselves justice. Alright, it is time for Chelsea to return to Champions League knockouts for the first time in 3 years. And we're going to have a pretty good squad today to take on Lille. Up top, Benjamin Sesko does start, but Bruno Thiago is on the bench. He's not fully fit, but he did pass his fitness test. If he needs to come in, this would be the kind of match to take a risk. On the wings, we're going with Yeremy Pino on the left wing. Vidovic is going to start on the right wing because Kai Havertz continued to not do anything this season. In the middle, Mike Fromm obviously starts. He's been in fantastic forms. Probably been the best attacking player in the last couple of games. So he's got to start in there. He must start right now. Ilaix Moriba's going to come back in to start next to him as the box midfielder. Camavinga can stay in that holding role. Ruggeri's going to come in after his suspension to play left back. Badiashile and Cerezo going to stay at center back. Reece James also comes back in. And obviously Horazzo stays in net. On the bench, still a lot of strength there. Lewis Nielsen to be a backup right back or center back. Rudin, backup left back, can definitely make a difference. Franck Kessie on there. Guilherme Santos, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, if we have to. And obviously Bruno Thiago. If we need goals, we know he can come on and bring us some goals. We are playing our higher tempo system today as we are away from home. And it's been a pretty slow start. Both teams, the 2 shots, they have both theirs on target. We have one of ours on target. And they're going to have the ball here after we give it away from the throw-in. Down this left-hand side, they're going to go back to their left back. He's going to go into the center back, Bakar. Back here. I think that's a former PSG man, if I'm not mistaken. But he gives it away, and Vidovic looks through for Sesko, but he can't quite find the through ball. But he's going to get the ball right back. A little bit better pass this time. This time he finds Sesko. Gets right back to him, and another pretty awful pass from Gabriel Vidovic. Not a great start from him. But they try to go long, and Badiashile brings that down. It's going to find Cerezo. Goes inside to Reece James. Going to cut inside. Look for a through ball to Yeremy Pino down this left wing. He's going to cut it back to Ilaix Moriba. He loves going for, it wasn't necessarily a long shot. He was in the box, but he loves going for a speculative effort, and you can never say he doesn't put power behind it. We are going to see a corner now. Yeremy Pino to put it in. Near post. Badiashile, back post, but Sesko can't quite get there. But Moriba's going to pick this up. He's going to put a ball in looking for Vidovic, but he's not going to win that one. And they're going to have it, but they're just going to go long, and we're obviously going to win that pretty easily. Reece James is going to pick this up. He's going to have plenty of time to make a decision on the ball here. He's going to look to drive forward. Is this highlight going to continue? Is this going to be a legitimate highlight from here on out, or is this just more of nothing? Mike Fromm, a very good ball to Yeremy Pino. They're right back, not in position, but he's still got to wait for some help. He's going to find Sesko in the middle of the box, but a fantastic block. And they're able to clear it. And is the highlight still going to continue? Apparently. Cerezo bringing it forward now. Mike Fromm, he's going for a long shot, and it hits the crossbar. He is feeling it. Now about 15.5 minutes in, we've got a throw in down this right-hand side. Vidovic is going to go back to Reece James. Yeremy Pino, going to find Reece James one more time. Sesko in the box. And there's the goal. They don't block this one. Sesko even put a lot of power behind that one. He didn't really need to, but he made sure. And it is 1-0, 16 minutes in. And we have been better than how we started. Obviously, last highlight went pretty well for us. Couldn't quite find the goal, but we came very close. And we went one further this time. Reece James, a beautiful ball in. Sesko usually wins those with his head. This time, little comfort volley right into the back of the net. Nice finish. 23 minutes in, Yeremy Pino to put in another corner. Badiashile scores a lot of goals from corners. Not usually like that, though. His header gets saved, but he's able to find a way to get his foot on it and put it in the back of the net. And it is now 2-0, 24 minutes in. We only have 3 or 4 shots on target. Not doing as good as we probably should in that department, but we get a little bit of fortune there. His shot actually looked like it cannoned off the leg of a Lille player, but it still finds the back of the net. It still counts. It looks like there might be one more highlight before we go into halftime, and maybe this one's going to be for Lille. They've got the ball. See if they can create something here. I'm guessing that name is. He's going back to Bakker. Into Balerdi. He's got to yell. He's got to be a little bit cautious. He's going to look for a through ball to Aristides. He's got a little bit of a knock. He's going to go inside to Muratovic. Looks like they're going to have a shot. If we get a highlight from this, Lille's basically done. But they are going to have a chance, and it's going to go in the back of the net. And I don't see why that wouldn't count. The shot gets saved. It falls right back to Muratovic, and he had an open net to place it into. He didn't make the mistake. And so I'm pretty sure this is going to be 2-1. Not a great way to end the first half, but we still have the lead. Unless this is just going to miraculously not count, which, like I said, I don't know why it wouldn't. Okay. How is that not a goal? Was someone offside that I didn't realize? Someone in the way of the goalkeeper? Okay, so it was the ball back to him. I didn't even think about that. And so we get a little fortunate with the disallowed goal, and we go into halftime with a 2-0 lead, but it is fully deserved. They've only had 2 shots. They have put both of them on target, but they've not even been that good of chances. They don't have a clear-cut chance. They don't have a half chance. We've been the much better team. We deserve a lead. And hopefully we can get a few more in the second half. I'd like a comfortable victory so that the home leg could be more of a formality. We've got our first highlight of the second half. It's going to be 51 minutes in. It's going to start with us already on their side of the pitch. Camavinga is going to go to Mariba. Is he going to look for another long shot? No, he's going to go back to Camavinga. Into Mike Fromm. Outside of Reece James. Mike Fromm one more time. Vidovic. Nice ball through to Sesko, but good defensive play. And they're able to get it out of there. Are they going to go long? Are they going to look to dribble forward with Bakker? It's just going to be the end of the highlight. 74 minutes in, Lille have a goal kick. It is still 2-0 to Chelsea. I still would like another goal or two. We're going to win this knockdown, and Mariba's going to find Sesko, who looks through for Yeremy Pino, who is through on goal. Can he put it away? No. It is a fantastic save by their goalkeeper, Fernandez. You can't really blame Yeremy Pino for that one. That was a decent-looking finish. Just a better save. We are going to see the corner, though. Batshuayi's not going to win this one. It's going to go out. So that's probably going to be how the highlight ends, but decent chance. 82 minutes in now. We're not going to have many more chances to get another goal here. Vidovic now on the left-hand side. Santos, also newly on the pitch. He's going to look to dribble forward. Can he find his man? He does. Kai Havertz, also been brought on as a sub. He's going to go inside to Benjamin Sesko. Into Guilherme Santos. He's going to go very good ball to Kai Havertz, who finds another very good ball to Benjamin Sesko. But I've got a feeling that Sesko was offside. It was a really good play. I mean, the ball from Guilherme Santos to Kai Havertz, little reverse pass, was fantastic. But it is going to count. I am wrong. Sesko was onside, and that is a beautiful bit of play. This pass by Guilherme Santos, fantastic. Great ball from Kai Havertz to not be selfish. He finds Benjamin Sesko. I need to see this because even in that replay, he looked offside to me. Who is keeping him on here? I mean, I guess Kai Havertz is just slightly ahead of him. I'll take it. It's 3-0. 2 minutes of added time. It looks like this match is going to end with a 3-0 victory to Chelsea. Gabriel Vidovic did pick up a little bit of a knock there at the very end. We had already made all 3 subs, so we just voluntarily took him off, went down a man, but it was already 3-0. Wasn't look like we're going to get another, and looked like they weren't going to score either. It is a dominant victory, and that is the away leg. Not as comfortable as I'd like to not need to show the home game, but I still don't feel like I need to. It was an absolutely dominant performance, almost 4 XG without a penalty in there. 8 half chances, 1 clear-cut chance. I mean, if we could do this away from home, I feel like at home it's going to be pretty simple. So it is 2 more good wins and 2 more clean sheets. So we are now 7 straight games without conceding a goal in all competitions. That's pretty good. Benjamin Sesko gets man of the match for this one. In relief for the injured Bruno Thiago, he gets 2 goals and a 9 rating. He was very good. Good to see we have a decent option if Bruno Thiago can't quite play. Sesko not always been super consistent for us, but recently he's been good. Good to have him as a solid backup striker. Now, how bad is this Vidovic injury? I don't think it's going to be too bad. I think it's just going to be like maybe a week, 10 days, something like that. If it's any worse than that, it kind of suck, but it is, okay, a little bit worse than that, 10 to 13 days. Not awful, but still not preferable. All right, now when it comes to who we're going to come back for next episode, I'm kind of umming and ahhing about it a little bit. I really don't feel like I need to show this Lille match. The way we dominated away from home, surely we can't be bad enough to throw that one away, right? We do have some big Premier League matches coming up around that time against Arsenal and Liverpool, who are currently in second, but we've got a pretty big lead in the Premier League. Even if we lose both of these matches, we'll still have a decently comfortable lead. And with the pretty easy stretch we've got in April and really to start May, next tough match after that Liverpool match really is Manchester United at the end of the season. I still feel like we should be a pretty comfortable position in the Premier League. I don't think those matches are super important either. Obviously, the biggest match really is the FA Cup, but it is West Brom as well at home. So I still think I'm going to come back for that one, though. Obviously, the FA Cup means a lot to us this season. We need to win it. Really want to win it. We don't have to, but really want to. I'd like to be able to get that one done, over with. So I think next episode, I'll probably come back for just West Brom, like, is the only game. And then we'll probably, take a look at maybe some Sporting, how they've done without me this season. Maybe look through some Data Hub stuff. I still could possibly, play this match and then come back for the quarterfinal. But the thinking was, I'd play this FA Cup 5th round match against West Brom. Given we win it, I'd come back for the quarterfinal of the FA Cup and whoever we get in the next round of the Champions League. And that could be its own episode as well. That might be what we end up doing. So I'll see you for that one next episode. After a little bit of a blip to start January, we are officially back. 7 games in a row, all wins, all without conceding. Thank you, Miles Jacobson and the FM gods. I really needed that. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.